The city never sleeps, but in its cold, unblinking glare, it often forgets its own. Our story begins in the Marvin Tower, a colossal structure of marble and glass, polished to a perfect, cold sheen, where fortunes were made and lost daily. Here, on the graveyard shift, worked Marcus, a young man with tired eyes, dedicated to saving every dollar from his security guard job to pay for nursing school. He was tasked with protecting the immense wealth held within those walls, but Marcus understood he was protecting something far more valuable: his own human decency. Most of the world saw Marcus as invisible, and yet, his quiet observation would change everything. Around 3 in the morning, like a shadow the metropolis had spat out, a figure would appear outside the revolving door. It was Mr. Thomas, an elderly man bundled in threadbare layers, carrying only a canvas sack. He never begged, never spoke. He merely stood across the street, shivering, his dignity his last visible possession. Every night for 3 weeks, Thomas appeared. Most guards would have dismissed him or called the police, labeling him a liability. But Marcus looked at the raw, blue hands of the old man and remembered his own family's struggles. He decided his job description didn't exclude being human. He would open the side service door, softly inviting Thomas into the corner by the utility closet, offering him a brief respite from the freezing cold and a hot, weak cup of coffee from his personal thermos. This small ritual of kindness, however, carried immense risk. Sleeping on the premises was a fireable offense, and one morning, Kelly, a watchful daytime manager, caught Marcus giving Thomas a plate of leftover canteen toast. Kelly whispered fiercely, warning Marcus he was jeopardizing his scholarship and calling the old man a liability, a potential spy or a thief. But Marcus stood firm. He calmly replied that he would rather be the fool who got fired for offering toast than the man who watched another human being freeze on the pavement. In a final, selfless gesture, Marcus gave Thomas his old winter scarf. The old man looked at it, his surprisingly clear, deep blue eyes meeting Marcus's, and then quietly wrapped the wool around his neck, a flicker of something unreadable passing over his face. 1 week later, the corner was empty. Thomas was gone. The lobby suddenly felt hollow, and Marcus, feeling a genuine pang of loss, checked every alley, wondering if he had done enough. Days stretched into weeks, and Marcus kept his thermos warm, watching the void where Thomas once stood. Then, while wiping down his desk mat, his hand brushed against a hidden object, a heavy, silver keycard, engraved with the Marvin Tower logo and worn at the edges. Taped to the back was a note, written in elegant script, reading, "Go to the top. 65th floor. 8 a.m. Come alone." Marcus's heart pounded. Was this a trap or an invitation? At 7:55 a.m., just moments after his shift ended, he made his decision. He slid the card into the elevator slot, and the button for the exclusive, secretive penthouse floor, the home of the building's reclusive owner, unlocked. The elevator doors opened onto the 65th floor, revealing an airy, vast office overlooking the entire city. And there, standing behind a large, mahogany desk in a tailored silver suit, was Thomas. The young security guard was stunned. "Mr. Thomas?" he whispered in disbelief. The man in the suit smiled gently. "Please, Marcus. My name is Elias Thorne. I own this building, every brick, every inch of marble." The realization hit Marcus like a physical force. The man he had risked his job to feed stale toast to was the most powerful man in the city. Elias Thorne explained that years ago, he had lost himself in the pursuit of wealth, becoming a machine rather than a man. He had returned to his fortress, disguised, to test its true foundations, not the steel and glass, but the human foundation. He needed to know if integrity still existed beneath the polished surfaces. Everyone saw a beggar and turned away, fearing liability. Elias Thorne continued, his voice calm and resonant. "You, Marcus, saw a man and offered your last cup of coffee. You gave me warmth when I had built a fortress of cold steel. You passed the test." The billionaire then slid a packet across the desk. It wasn't just a full scholarship, which was paid in full, but an offer for a new role, Chief of Employee and Community Care. You will ensure every person in this company, from the cleaning crew to the security guards, is treated with the dignity you showed me," Elias instructed. Marcus, tears welling up, tried to find the words, but Elias simply nodded. "You thought right, Marcus. And in the world of business, thinking right is worth more than any quarterly report." Marcus left the penthouse that day, not as a security guard, but as a leader who had found his true power, the power to see the invisible. His was a testament that integrity is not a perk of success, but the single greatest precondition for it. The kindness was instantly passed on. That very night, Marcus, now in a clean suit and a position of authority, stood by the security desk. He greeted the new night guard, not with a command, but with a genuine smile and a fresh, warm thermos of coffee. He had not sought wealth, but he had found his true fortune. The world realized that the true legacy of a billionaire is not the money he leaves behind, but the kindness he inspires in others. Thank you for journeying through this story with me. Your time and engagement are deeply appreciated. If this tale of quiet courage and breaking barriers resonated with you, please consider giving it a like and subscribing. Your support helps bring more of these meaningful narratives to light. Let me know where in the world you're watching from and what you thought in the comments below. Until next time, take care.